Hi everyone, and welcome to another Mighty Ginkgo tutorial. My name is Zero and I'll be your instructor for these lessons. So, hi guys, welcome to another tutorial, another animation onigiri tutorial. I've been really getting into these, so I hope you guys enjoy this one and have as much fun with it as I did. So, in this one, I'm going to be converting Mortal Kombat 11 animations into Second Life animations because I don't know if you guys remember way back in the day when we first started getting into animations, I used to manually try to motion trace old Mortal Kombat animations. I think I did Sindel's Harakiri, her suicide move. And that was fun. I mean, it took forever and a day, but it was fun in the long run. So the fact that I'm able to just have the animations from the game and then convert them like this, it makes me cry because I think about how much hard work that would have been trying to motion trace it, but it also makes me cry tears of joy because it's like, yes, I got them. So I'll be making a tutorial later on showing you how I extracted them from the game, but I wanted to show you like what I do with them after I extract it, and that's what this tutorial is about. So first thing I need to do is go and open up a copy of Blender. I'm using Blender 2.81 for this, and a copy of Onigiri, which you can find in the description below. So once you get your copy of Onigiri set up inside Blender, you are good to load in your FBX, your animation of Mortal Kombat stuff. So first thing I want to do is turn on the X-ray, which is another funny thing because that's like very Mortal Kombat-y. Hang on 1 second. Sorry about that. It's like Murphy's Law. As soon as I start a tutorial, that's when people message me. It was quiet all morning. Not a soul. Okay, so I'm going in the X-ray mode, which is kind of funny because that's what you do in Mortal Kombat when you're breaking somebody's face. So no face breaking, just bone revealing. Although they do show the bones in X-ray mode, so I reckon it's the same. Anyway, this makes it a lot easier for me to see and grab what I'm working on, what I'm trying to do. Today's animation is brought to you by Miss Cassandra Cage. This is her victory pose, I think. So I'm gonna run it real quick. So this is after she wins. And she pulls her cell phone out and she checks it. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, I'm still working on props and stuff, try to get the props to work with the animations. I already talked to Gypsy and he said that it's easy peasy, no, with scripting and the animations it should be fine, but he's still developing it and was a little tied up at the moment, so he couldn't really talk, like literally RVL, so he couldn't really talk back to me. But through the note cards, he said that it won't take long. So when he gets back to me, I'll make a more in-depth tutorial on how to put like guns and stuff in your hands, because we did that with Cassandra. Her supernova move has 2 guns, and you know, we're working it out. Sorry. So anyway, we have our bones visible and we're going to open up the animation mode. This makes it easier because it puts in the dope sheet in the timeline so we can start getting stuff done. Also takes it out of X-ray mode, so I gotta put it back inside that, like, X-ray please, thank you. Alright, so once we're here, we're going to go over here to our dope sheet, and I'm going to press A and highlight all the bones. I don't think it's highlighted. Here we go. Press A and highlight everything. Then I'm going to press G, and I'm going to scoot the animation forward a bit. Now, it's really important to remember, like, if you have props and stuff with this one, like I said before, let's just say, for example, that this was her super move, and she has guns, and you want all the animations to be in sync. You really should take note of how far you scoot your animations here in the dope sheet. I usually put mine not that far from the start frame, like at frame 5. It's just easier for me to remember 5 than it is to remember some random number. So I like to just scoot the frame 5, the animation's 5 frames. Really doesn't matter where you do it as long as it's definitely not on the first or 0 frame. Okay. With that said, I'm going to take the scene ticker. I'm not sure what this thing is called. I always just called it the scene ticker because that just sounds funny. So I'm going to take our scene ticker and put it right here on the frame 0, because 0 is the best number ever. And I'm going to select the bones and put our character in its rest pose. So to do that, we need to be in object mode, select the bones, then go into pose mode, and I'm going to press Alt R, then Alt G and make sure that it's up and set in this rest state. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use our pre-made pose, because it's currently in the A pose, and when you're trying to retarget animations from X to Second Life, it's always best to have it in Second Life's default animation pose, which is the T pose with spread fingers. Luckily for me, NetherRealm had already left the fingers spread out, so unlike the MMD stuff that we did in the past, I don't have to go in here and spread these fingers. They're already done, and I just need to make sure that her hands are in T. So instead of having to do it manually, selecting the bones and pressing R and trying to figure out which bone is the R bone and doing it, we have the joy of the Onigiri pose library. And what the pose library is basically a library with preset poses that you can just import into the project file and have your model snap to it if the bones work. Now, I did it in advance, which means that if you want to try this, you don't have to. So let's use that pose library and snap our avatar here into the T-pose. So we're going to go to our side menu and open the Onigiri tab. Then we're going to scroll down to where it says animation. Then scroll down some more where it says enable posing library. Then we're going to hit load. And then you're going to find your BPL or your pose library, your bone pose library. And I'm using this one, the Mortal Kombat 11 T-pose. And then you hit load pose. Now, when you do it, you'll see a little message pop up down here showing you what poses are inside the library. This one only has one, and it's the only one we need. We had one beforehand, but that one wasn't great, so we had to recreate it. So that's why it's a T-pose 2 instead of a T-pose 1. Once you have it here, all you gotta do is pick this happy dancing pineapple next to the happy pencil, and it will snap our character into the T-pose we need to work with. So far, so good, right? Okay, so now that we have our character in the T-pose, we just need to put it in the timeline and create a reference pose. Now, I've done a couple experiments with this, and I learned that in some cases you don't have to inject the this pose into the timeline. You can just go use reference pose and snap it like, hey, this one. But just for the sake of consistency, I've just snap it into the timeline because, well, it's better to do it and then have it work and then, try to do it and then it breaks. So add it. Okay, so to add this to the pose, we're just going to press the I key and bring up the insert keyframe menu, and then we're going to pick lot rot scale and add it into here. This is going to be our fake T pose because by default, baby, just walk normally. He doing a Scooby-Doo walk trying to come into the room quietly. Get up. It's fine. Just walk normally. Sit down. Sorry, I know how the husband is. I'm sure somebody's saying hot husband. Okay, so we have our frame inserted into our timeline. It's time to create this as our reference pose. So just scoot your mouse up to where it says reference pose features, and then push the green arrow that's pointing to your pose, your avatar, and click that. And then next thing you want to do is press this button that says create reference pose. Wait for it to stop glowing, and then you know it's done. Okay, so it's done. And we get to move on to the fun part, which is transferring the motion from Mortal Kombat, the source, and turning it into a Second Life animation. So the next step is to go close this. I'm trying to remember. I think it's not in the animations, but it's here in character tools. And then you want to do retarget motion. And you want to load in our map, because this map is our bone maps, and it tells Blender that these bones are named XYZ, and it's the same bones as Second Life's XYZ. And then transfer all the motions from those bones to these bones, and then you got an animation. So what I want to do next is load in that map, which it should be on my desktop. I think that's where I saved it. Yes, I did. Hey, look at me getting organized in the new year. So you want to select our Mortal Kombat bone map, and then we want to tell the second life the second life avatar how far it should be from our director. Oh, yeah, sorry, that's fancy Onigiri language. The director is the source, and the actor is the target, which is our second life one. So we don't want our actor to be right up on the director. We want it to have a bit of distance. That way you can look at it and see if anything goes awry and then make corrections if you need to. If it was straight up onto the body, the director, then they would be one kind of sinking into it, and you wouldn't be able to see if the second life skeleton is working. So you always want to put a little bit of distance from it. I always put 0.70 away from it, and I think that's a good amount, but you can increase it or decrease it depending on your comfort level, but 70 is usually it. So once those parameters are established, all you have to do is just say action and go. Now, I did this on purpose because I want to show you what to do in case you have this problem. It seems that the Mortal Kombat character is rotated in a way that is different from the second life avatar. So if we were to play the animation, you would see that it would totally be weird. And we don't want weird, we want right. So what we need to do is go back a bit. So I'm going to just open up my undo history. I use the space bar and I just press undo because I don't know how to navigate this blender enough to be able to, like it was second life, like the previous blender, it was control alt Z and it brought it up, but this is different, so this is the only way I know how to do it. So what I would like to do is roll it back to the part right before we did the reference pose feature and keyframe thingy. So this. Okay, so we're back here before we added the T-pose to the keyframe. Now, if you're ever curious as to what direction your second life director should be standing for the transfer, you want to go to rig creation and then select the button that says add safe rig, and it shows you that this needs to be rotated negative 90 degrees on the Z axis in order to match it. And I know that because I've been looking at it. So basically you need to turn it sideways is what I'm saying. Every time I hear somebody say turn it sideways, I keep thinking about Stone Cold. Turn that some sideways and may transfer those animations. So we're going to just go into object mode and press R. Go into object mode, select the bones, select the mesh, press R, then Z, then negative, and then type in 90, and then your square right there. So once that is done, we just need to select our safe rig that we had bought in, get rid of it. It served its purpose. We don't want to be clogging up this scene. And now we go into, click on the bones and go into pose mode, and add this pose, this rotated pose, to our timeline. So just press I and lock right scale again. And then we go to load map. Put in our Mortal Kombat map. Tell the director that the actor needs to be 7 steps away from us, and then yell action. And oh wait, dude, I totally forgot to put the reference pose. sorry, I'm so messing up. Like I was all cool up until now. All right, when we rotated it, we need to go back to character tools, and as long as it in character tools, retarget. What's the animation? Okay, yeah, okay. Go to animation, then reference pose, then push the button that's pointing towards the avatar, and then press create reference pose, and this will be our new reference pose. There we go. That's not right either. What the bleepity bloop? Oh. Okay. I'm sorry. I hate how, I guess this is one of the joys of being unmedicated, because my brain is running all these sound effects in my head. Like, right now, I'm thinking about Parappa when you fail, and Master Onion is like, again. Choo, 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 choo. Again. Okay, for real, so here's how we do it. After we rotate it, we go, I, lot, rot, scale, have it in here. Then we select the reference pose. Then we say create the reference pose. And if God is willing, it will not spin. For my God to spin, didn't it? Oh, okay, just press RZ90 and rotate it away. RZ -90. Teach you to move. Stay. Alright, so once it's pointing in the right direction, say action. Oh! Okay. I see what happened. I see where I dunked up at. Okay, so let's take it back one more time. We are going to reset the stage. I forgot about that. Okay, so press the button, reset the stage. Then we are going to go into pose mode. Then we're going to press I, lot, rot, scale. Then after it's in that lot, rot, scale, we are going to close character tools. And we're going to open up the animation tab. And then we're going to make this our reference pose. I quit. I don't know why I did it. I don't know why. It worked fine when I did it the first 50 times. RZ90. Oh no, it rotated the opposite direction. This sucks. I'm just gonna turn it RZ next. See what we get here. Animation, reference pose, character tools, load and map. I probably should just redo this. We're too far in. Action. Oh, for heaven's sake. I don't know why this happened. It didn't happen before. I broke it. Okay, hang on one second, y'all. Okay, I think it would be unfair to show you. So what I think, after I broke it, I'm going to try and just re-upload it real quick. And we're going to try it again. So I have her brutality intro victim thing. Wait for it to load in. That's Mortal Kombat speak for I messed up. Have it again. I am going to re-upload her animation real quick. Wait for it to come in. Then we are going to select her bones. Right here. Them bones. And then we're going to go into pose mode. We're going to press Alt-R, put it in there, and then Alt-G and tear out the thingamajig. Then I'm going to press RZ, -90, and spin her around like a roller coaster and have it here. I think once I put inside the... This sucks! I broke it! Alright, for real! This tutorial needs to go up again. I need to start over. Hell no, zeros don't quit. Not until we fail 28 times minimum. Alright, so new folder. FBX. Mortal Kombat. I don't remember which one it was. Brutality, Victory, this one. And make sure that it is not the drone. Glare at it. Wait for it. Here it comes. Alright, there we go. Alright, so, Cassie, you're here. Alright, then we're going to rotate, turn on her X-ray. Look at them bones. Select the bones. Go into pose mode. Press Alt-R. Press Alt-G. Have it here. Go into animation mode. Zoom on in and make sure that we scoot it forward 5 frames. G, 5 frames. That. Now that we're here on frame 0, the good frame, go back into pose mode, select the bones, press A, press Alt-R, press Alt-G, go to the side, open up the Onigiri tab, scroll on down until we see the enable posing library, press load, go to my desktop where I am being more organized, and select the Mortal Kombat T-pose. Select the happy pineapple and apply the pose to the model. Once the pose is applied to the model, press A, then R, and then Z, then negative, and then 90, and rotate it around so that it can be used for second life. Once it's in that pose, we are going to press I and make sure that we press lock, rot, scale, locking in the frame here on the Z thingamajig. So once it's on there, we're going to go to reference pose, select reference from pose, create the reference pose, glare at it and threaten its life if it spins, and it does not. It's good. So once it's spun over yonder, we only have to do is start doing the retargeting. So to retarget, what is it that we do to retarget? Character tools. So character tools, retarget animation, load in the Mortal Kombat bone map. That is right here. There. Tell the actor to give it seven steps of space behind it, and then press action. Now, once it is in action, all we have to do is scroll behind it, and you see that we have Second Life thing mimicking it. Look at all that work. Okay, so once it is done, we just need to select the actor right here, never the director because it will fail. Select the actor, go into pose mode, I think. Nah, object mode is cool. So go there, select the bone, scroll on down back into the animation tab, and then start putting in the information we need to, such as what's the starting frame. We know that because we did it in the beginning. The animation starts on frame 5 and it ends at frame 323. If you ever need confirmation on what frame is the end frame, just scroll on down until you get to the end and select the dot that's glowing here. So that is 323. It's all set. Next thing you want to do is set the frames per second. Mortal Kombat runs on 30 frames per second for this version, although I am curious as to what 60 frames per second would look like, but I want everything to line up with the sound effects, so I'm sticking with the 30. Next step is to export it as our animation. We're going to name it as Cast on the Phone When. You don't have to name it that long, and I'm making it a priority for animation. It doesn't have to loop. It doesn't need to do anything. All we need to do is press export. And I'm putting it on my desktop. So once this thing stops being red, you know you're done. Now it's done. Next step is just to upload it into Second Life. And because I think I'm a naked kimono because I was trying to back stuff up from the last video, I'm going to go put on a body and then we're going to see if this animation works. So give me 1 second because kawaii. I think that's how you say I'm changing in Japanese. So I'm changing. Be right back. Okay, so I'm here. Back in world. I'm going to upload the animation. Cast on phone when. Upload. Turn off my AO because we don't want that dunking it up like we did with that last tutorial we did. What was that? The Mixamo thing where my AO was too strong and it wasn't letting my hands bend into a fist. Okay, so we have this, we have that, we have our animation. Cast on the phone when. We play in world and cool. It works. Now, if you want to see a little more impressive Mortal Kombat one we did, I think I have it uploaded. I'm not sure. Let me see. This one. This is the gun, slow motion, bang, the other gun, shooting you in the legs, and then shooting you in the stomach, bang, 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 in slow motion. So yeah, if you just look at Cassie's fatality, that's cool. Alright, so yeah, that is how you import Mortal Kombat animations. I'm still doing more research on it because I want that damn sex, and I'm not going to rest until I get it. Hopefully you guys will have more luck than I did. Sorry that it failed, but at least you guys will see how to fix it if you fail. It's a good learning experience. From failure comes, not failure. So I'm going to go now because it's already 24 minutes. I got to do laundry and go food shopping. So I will see you guys again when I get back and we eventually get around to making more Mortal Kombat stuff. So that's it for me. Have fun, good luck, and enjoy your Like, oh yeah, I forgot. That should be a cool Mortal Kombat thing. So long, good luck, and always finish your opponents. But not your projects, because that's impossible. Alright, see you. Bye.